Hello and welcome to Vaesen the Devil You Know. My name is the Scarred Adventurer. Uh, it's not my name, but I am the Scarred Adventurer, the great and mighty narrator of this game. Our game is Vaesen, a Nordic horror role-playing. Our background artist from Pixabay and our character artist from Marcia Joseph. Her Discord username is below. Contact her for anything, for any art you would like done. Now, normally we do an intro for all of our players and what they do right at the beginning of the show. We are still going to do that, but this is just our content warning for the game you are about to see. Now, the game Vaesen, a Nordic horror role-playing, is just what it sounds like, a horror tabletop role-playing game. We will be dealing with sensitive and potentially upsetting issues. Anything can happen in the story we are going to play out, and it very much anything can and will happen in the story we are going to play out. Characters can die, they will be brutally hurt and traumatized, and we may deal with some fairly adult themes. My players all have access to an X card that they can play at any time, should something be too much. But you, as the audience, don't have the same power. So I want to warn you in advance this is not a show for children. This is not a show for the faint of heart, or for those who are uncomfortable with horror based themes. Now, I'm not asking you to forego the show. In fact, I am doing quite the opposite. I just want to prepare you for what's to come. There is no shame in choosing something else to enjoy. Your safety is priority. Now that, with all that having been said, if you choose to stick around, I really do hope you enjoy what we're bringing you. Be good to yourself, and as always, as we always say at Dirty 20 Gaming, please be nice to each other. Enjoy the show. Now, each of these wonderful, slightly crazy people has agreed to join us for the game tonight. As we get them to introduce themselves this session, we start with Siosa.
I,
Please
I
tell us
take
what you are up
except
to outside of this. Outside of this,
I take
and
exception.
what?
It's slightly crazy. I'm way more than slightly.
Well,
That's
it's,
fine. So I am Siosa. I am a sometimes GM here on Dirty 20 Gaming. And beyond that, I'm not really working on any projects or influencer type stuff. So I don't have any links to hand out. I play Charlie, who is a teenager with the worst luck in the world. So look forward to gaming with you all tonight.
excellent. With that, we move on to Rory. Tell us, what do you do outside of this?
Hello, I'm Rory. I mainly make music under the stage name DJ Raker. I have some stuff that's kind of early stages in the works on SoundCloud. That's where I post like IDs, stuff that's not finished or stuff that I can't put up on like Spotify and all that because copyright or whatever. And then I'm also hoping to get some Twitch stuff started up in the next week or so, ideally, so I can get all my layouts and whatever else, all the OBS stuff set up in time. So keep
Oh,
an eye out
those
for that
ducks in a
too.
row.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, it's not a whole lot. Music is the main thing I work on.
All right. With that, we now move on to Ruth. Please tell us what you do outside of this.
Hi, I'm Ruth. I'm here today as Anya. And I am also here on Tuesdays as Exit. Other than that, got nothing.
All right. Well, we are going to move on to our next person, who has just come back into the screen at the perfect time. We have Sarah Sands. Please tell us what you do outside of this.
Hi there. My name is Sarah. I also go by Sands. I'm working on some really cool stuff with the Scarred Adventurer over on Tangor Productions. There's something else in the pipeline, but I'm not allowed to talk about it right now. I'm also here on Tuesdays playing Magic, and I am here on Thursdays running the Fool's Gold campaign. I think that is it.
And finally, we go to a newcomer on the channel and a person that we are very excited to have for the first time with us, Noah. Please tell us, what do you do outside of this?
Hello, everyone. I'm Noah. I've been the great and powerful narrator's friend for a very long time, since grade 3, and so I need to join for a campaign. I do chemistry on the side, but I am not playing a chemist. Today I'm joining you as Finn, a vagabond who you know nothing about right now, but you will see.
And that is an accurate statement. We have been friends since we were about 7. It has been quite a long time. And as a chemist on the side, he means drug dealer. Uh, it was just right there. Such low-hanging fruit. With that, once again, I'm the Scarred Adventurer, the narrator of this game. When I'm not narrating, I am here on Tuesdays as Red Death in our Cyberpunk Red game, run by Vaesen Stonefist. Thursdays, I am Kurt Augustine, Red Warden in our Fool's Gold campaign, King's Pyrite, run by Sarah. And finally, I am working with Tango Productions, as stated previously, to eventually bring you stuff. With all that out of the way, we now head right into the game. And to recap for our protagonists and for you, who have not seen us for a while, our protagonists have arrived in the town of Gulsey in Ireland. They spoke with the locals, visited Ocean's factory, are being watched by a mysterious figure riding a horse with glowing eyes, and have now found a skull carved with runes and a paper plastered over its mouth. You know, it's all pretty standard fare. Now, before we rejoin our protagonists and their mystery, that was immediately guessed correctly, and I'm not salty about it at all. That's actually written in my script. Yeah, it's fun. In the town of Gulsey, we find ourselves in the forest right outside of town. A man is laying down within a circle of mushrooms as he begins to awake. As he groggily gets up, he can't seem to remember why or how he got here. He also doesn't have a clue where here even is. And as he tries to piece together where he's ended up, he sees a beautiful, shimmering maiden has been watching him. She has long, beautiful flowing hair, a dress that seems to dissolve into the air itself, and she's floating, which seems like a more major detail, but was mentioned at the end for some reason. This isn't the most peculiar thing about her, though. The most peculiar thing is that she's puzzled by the man in the mushroom ring. So what does she see when she looks at you, Finn?
She sees a young man, 18, 19 years of age, a bit scruffy at this point. He's been out in the woods for a little while. And she sees a lot of fear in his eyes. He asks her, "Where are you?"
The strangest thing happens next, which is that she begins to make motions with her hands that you then are able to see and translate into words. And she simply says that I am she. It appears that you are lost in these woods.
Where can you take me out of these woods?
She begins to sign back, absolutely. In fact, there's a place that I believe you may need to go. So with that, our wonderful, beautiful maiden begins to lead Finn outside towards the rest of the group. As they are traveling through the woods, they come across a horseman whose head seems to be clouded in smoke and whose horse's eyes are red and blazing.
I duck behind a tree.
The maiden looks at you and understands your fear and trepidation. She signs and makes a motion for you to cover your ears. Is this something you follow through with, or are you going to ignore the maiden's ear covering suggestion?
Say, "Maiden, I have a spotty connection. Can you repeat that right there?"
Well, the maiden goes, I understand. One of my fingers may have dissolved in the talking process. By the way, I don't speak sign language. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But she signals for you to cover your ears and makes a motion of putting her hands over her ears and tries to get you to do the same.
Right, I do so.
Once you do this, her features begin to pull apart. Her jaw drops. Her eyes sink deep into herself, and she loses all color and begins shrieking a blood-curdling howl. Black tears streaming down her face. The only thing that you can see besides white. The horseman pulls back, retreats into the darkness. And the maiden turns back to you, her features not even beginning to slightly resemble what they were a moment ago. And she motions for you to take your ears off your hands.
Take my ears off. My hands off my ears.
She comes forward towards you and holds out a hand for you to take.
I very cautiously extend my hand.
Her hand feels cold, but both solid and not solid at the same time. She begins to... Sorry?
I squeeze it just to confirm that she is real.
She smiles and gives you a squeeze back while floating. She leads you to a lavish house and waves for you to go inside.
I follow.
As soon as you go inside, you come across a group of strange people who have just found a skull in a box. And as you look at these people holding this weird-looking skull, behind you she fades into the night, softly, quietly, deathly.
Do any of us
So-
notice her?
Do you want to try to notice her?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, roll me a... I'm going to let you roll either vigilance or observation for this. I'd like you to describe why you choose either one, as you are currently looking over something.
I'm going to be
I'm-
rolling observation because Charlie had been watching everybody inside of the house. And so I think he's going to be clued in more by their reactions than anything else.
Okay.
I am going to roll vigilance because I think where Anya's coming from is, okay, there's a person here, and did I see that?
Okay.
Is that real? 2 successes.
So far we have rolled 2 sets of 2 successes, which is fantastic.
No pressure. No pressure at all.
I know, nice.
Definitely no pressure to the other people.
Especially for the person who, has the worst dice luck, it feels like. Lily
I
will
feel like you and Charlie have to duke that out in the ring.
Lily is going to use vigilance because this is already the head of a Doulahan. So she's kind of freaking out because she knows what she has to do next. So paying attention for any other spirits is absolutely what she's doing right now.
Okay.
2 successes!
And 2 successes. Wow, we have rolled 3 sets of 2 successes.
Oh God.
So if you fail this,
There we go.
we will call
There
you
we
a
go.
loser.
There we go.
That is all
There
we're
we go.
telling you.
There we
Yeah,
go.
I'm kidding.
I will
There
be
we go.
tonight's biggest loser if I fuck this up. I got is I'm gonna go for observation because he's a little bit surprised by the appearance of this skull in the box, and he's gone full like the rune on his eye patch is glowing. He's kind of like holding the side of his head and just kind of confused and looking around to try and regain his balance a little bit, so to
Okay.
speak.
And you failed utterly. I knew this was going to happen, but I really wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
The fun thing is, though, anyone who has succeeded and donate one of their 2 successes to you
Forgot that's a thing.
Yeah.
so that you too can have seen the thing. It
I'm
can
just
be
gonna
any-
nudge God.
Exactly.
Did you say you're donating one? Because I will happily have
Yeah.
Charlie donate one.
I will donate one. It's all good.
So you all see the maiden, the ghostly maiden, disappear into nothing. as their head slowly twists around upside down, unbeknownst to Finn. So, Finn, you've gotten these group of people who are staring shocked at you. How do you respond?
Uh, hey, who are you? Where are we? Why are we?
Charlie is stepping just so that his body kind of is between the newcomer and the skull that they've just, unearthed. Like he's trying to do it discreetly, like you didn't
I
see what you thought you saw.
I imagine Charlie has stepped in front as Lily and Anya are probably like both like creating a frame around the skull.
hmm
Um, and Charlie will ask the newcomer, like, "Are you with the camp?"
With the camp?
Charlie kind of points over his shoulder to like where there's like a full lumber mill and a town and camp that I'm guessing wasn't there when the maiden was leading him through the woods, since it seemed like he led him
didn't
just
see
to
a
a single
camp.
house.
Yeah, no, not.
I woke up here a few minutes ago and was led over. I just followed someone over here. Did you see the the thing?
Did you see the lady?
I did. I woke up. I followed her, and came across a man on a horse, and then I arrived here.
And Charlie's gonna like look to the others and kind of like step aside to like let him in. Be like he sees them too.
Close the door.
I closed the door.
You must be part of the society as well.
Society?
He has the sight at least. We are kind of group of people, or not ordained. That is the wrong word, but
Curse is more like
selected,
it.
cursed, chosen, however you feel about it, who can see things like a ghost lady you saw before that most people cannot. We're from quite far from here. We're on kind of on job right now, looking for another of these creatures that most people do not see. Try to free people of these curses, so to speak. It is a bit confusing, I know. It's confusing for at least me as well. We're all very new to this whole working with ghosts thing. It stretches out a hand.
Wait, I haven't met anybody who's seen these things. So I mean, I don't even. This is the first time I've seen anything. I've just.
Hmm.
I don't feel like I've been entirely in this world as of recently.
As you say that, your hands kind of go to your pants pockets.
Mm.
And and you feel just a little tiny something in your pocket.
Mm. I feel it, and pang of
Better not have
sadness
pulled
rips
death
through
again, you
me.
jackass.
So,
Yeah.
How dare
It fell
you?
out. It fell out. It fell out. It fell out.
We're
Put
going
them
to ignore
away.
it then. It's for the sake of this once. Anyways, continue.
I reach for the thing in my pocket, grab it, and a huge well of sadness comes up in me, and tears start coming down my face. I have no clue why.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. What did he say he pulled out of his pocket?
Santa?
The thing he pulled out of his pocket is a little folded piece of paper.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't catching the drift there. Okay, I
No, but you started crying about it, so I've
Open up
now
the piece of-
changed what it is exactly now. Uh,
I see.
as you open it, you see a
Um,
letter that says, "Orchard's Consort. I am sending you to help 4 people in a situation in Ireland. I'm certain you will be of use to them and will continue to be of use to them. We've already cleared this with the thing, so we are all good. We hope you enjoy your time at the Society of Drowson and look forward to our next engagement."
who's it signed by?
Oh, I wrote this down. I did. Did I keep it somewhere simple and not stupid? It is signed with the mark of a flower. Just a simple stamp of a flower. And and from the letter, it smells like her. The second you think it smells like her, you also go, "Who the hell is her?"
Mhm.
Other than that, you can see that it's an orchid that's drawn on it, but you don't know anything more than that.
Um, I wipe away my tears with this letter and stuff it back into my pocket again.
The letters remain surprisingly unsmudged.
Can the rest of us see any kind of writing or smell anything from the letter, or is it like a blank sheet of paper to us? Or
No, you guys can see it if you turn around to look at it, but
I assume that he was opening it, looking at it, and putting it away. So I'm not trying to like go around his shoulder or anything. So, but since he, like bursts into tears and puts the letter away, I'll just kind of like do my best to like subtly guide him to like a seat somewhere in the room that we're in. Looks like he needs some time to process.
I follow you to the seat and sit down and catch my breath. What are you doing here in the middle of the world? I
As
asked the Charlie character as he sits me down.
Charlie kind of looks around and says, "Well, a few weeks ago, we all found our way to a castle and an invitation to something called the Society of Drausen. All of us had the sight. All of us could see the things that everyone else couldn't. And that marked us. The castle was filled with creatures like that. We spent our time learning a way around it before getting a letter requesting aid to come here.
Hmm.
I think Lily has a much better idea what it is that we're up against here than I do. But something has been haunting this place. A headless horseman has been terrorizing their nights. The lumber mill has been going harder than it ever has before. And my own theory is that whatever terror is coming out of the woods is coming because of what damage is being done to the nature here. This place existed for years before that.
Anya's going to open her book to the page with what we know of the creature that we're kind of dealing with, and give it to him to read.
That's some sort of magic book. It says Vaesenpedia.
Yeah, it's hard to explain really. Showed up in my room in the society, and it fills itself out. which I'm sure doesn't really help your confusion, but it might help you understand a bit more about what we're dealing with. I'm Anya, by the way.
Excellent.
The second
Charlie.
your hand touches the book, it seems to react to you slightly as a picture of the thing you saw while being escorted by the maiden fills itself out onto that piece of paper.
But I saw that on the way here.
You saw the Doulahan then?
The word Doulahan suddenly appears in bold letters at the top of the page.
I was walking, and the the one that was guiding me told me to cover my ears. I did so. She let out I mean, I couldn't hear it, but what I imagined was a horrendous scream and to duck back into the woods.
Quick pause. For my clarity, didn't we already have a Doulahan page? Is it making a new one?
It was just the horse.
It was just the name, I thought.
They've now combined together.
Okay.
Because Anya had seen the horse.
I just wanted to be
In the
clear whether it
woods.
was creating like separate entries, like there were multiple variations of the creature.
No,
So-
no, it went, you guys now know what this thing is, and just went, okay, we're gonna erase that page and just put the page here and everything we know about it. There we go.
Is there
the
another
book has a
page?
bit of an attitude.
Is there another page with the maiden on it?
Well, it depends on whether or not you turn to look through it in the book.
Lily, hearing what Finn has said, says, "I'm sorry. Did you say that that maiden screamed?"
But when I was with her, she could not talk. I could only see her hands, but I understood it somehow.
There is a spirit that I've heard of. The wailing spirit. That it's a scream that can kill you. So I was surprised that you survived.
She seemed to want me to survive. I don't know why, but if I mean, by what you're saying, if I wouldn't have covered my ears, I don't think I would have them anymore.
Interesting. You're muted.
If
You were trying to say something, Charlie.
Charlie is like flipping the page to look for like a wailing spirit, see if it's filling out on the next page.
You do see an image of the woman that was just there, and a picture of the grotesque image of her face when she starts screaming, which you did not see personally.
Is there information on the page?
Unfortunately, all you know is that it has the word maiden ? And no written down information except for wails and scream might kill. Because it's filling in based on the information that you know.
I see.
All right, so to finish catching up, we also have a skull that we would think belongs to the Doulahan. Yes?
I do.
You look like you were about to do something to it. You know, some ritual of magic that can
I can
make it happy.
possibly. I mean, I can talk to spirits, and the Doulahan is a type of spirit. So in theory, if I attempt to channeling, I'll be able to talk to it.
Is that safe for you?
I mean, we don't exactly have another option here. We need to protect these people, right?
But we should still be, if there's precautions we can take for you. If it's going to
She'll-
possess you or something, then we can
She
bind
puts
your
her
hands or
yeah, she puts her deck away and puts her bag like fully on the ground and holds her hands out. If any of you can tie me up, in case of worst case scenario, it probably won't happen, but let's be cautious.
I have bandages that could work as restraint.
Hunting pack should have some rope. That probably work better than bandage. Like pull out a small-ish, like more like for tying up small game. String of just like average rope
And Charlie he'll like reach for it. Like, I don't know if you remembered him sailing. Like
that's true. He
the moment
like
he's got a rope, it's like knots are like appearing in his hands. Like all of them look like they're designed to only tighten if they're strained against, but like that they'll otherwise remain relatively loose.
Yes, she'll I can't believe I'm doing this because I'm actually scared here because I know what happens if I fail. She'll
I-
like
I actually would like to make some sort of empathy roll to just kind of get a sense of how scared she is.
I mean, you can try.
Do you mind if I make an observation roll for that?
You're muted.
Yes, I'm brilliant, and I muted myself. So, Lily, I'd like you to make a manipulation roll to make it so that you don't look scared. And Charlie, I would like you to do an observation roll to see how scared she is.
2 successes.
And
One.
versus 1 success.
Okay.
So you can't see anything, really.
Yeah, she's good at putting on a brave face.
Yes.
And she'll quiet herself for a moment and let's see if I get this. No modifiers. 1 success.
Excellent. And because you're using magic, you're safe. Cool.
Ooh.
What did I do? I can't tell you. Oh, we're back?
Yep.
Oh, great. So they can see and hear us. Fantastic. Okay, so with the observation roll that Charlie made to see if the skull is trying to have ulterior motives to getting the thing off his mouth so he's not possessing someone else in this weird mix, he does have ulterior motives.
Anya has her hand on the tape, but she's not moving the tape.
Yeah, and Charlie just kind of like shakes his head at Anya. Like there's just a glint of suspicion in his eye.
Look, nothing bad will happen if you take the tape off the mouth.
is there any writing on the thing covering the skull's mouth? Or is it just runes all over the bones itself?
On the mouth it says it is in a Nordic language
Okay.
that seems an old Nordic language. So really this comes down to, does anyone know how to read old Viking runes? I'll take that as a big no.
I don't think so.
Except for one person who apparently does, but cannot do anything about it.
He knows runes because she's a witch.
Yeah, but I mean, I imagine Charlie might recognize 1 or 2, given that he sailed all over the place, but I don't think ancient stuff is going to be his forte.
Not really ancient. You might you see the word talking on the paper.
Right.
Can I try and tap into some like far memory and like the far recesses of my brain of what I may have seen in like the remote mountain village you used to live in?
Roll empathy with a modifier of 2.
Okay. Oh, where's the thing? Always ask for modifier. Yes. Modifiers. Oh, 3 successes.
Yeah, you can. So what happens
I have
is
a bit
your
of an idea.
mind actually travels further back in the past than you've ever lived. You see things, a weird swelling cosmos of information and ideas and thoughts and wisdoms. And then you're right back in your own body.
Oh,
And then you can read it
that's above.
perfectly.
He's standing there with his good eye closed, inadvertently, and just the eye patch runes
It
are
is
swirling.
almost
like-
on fire how bright it is.
Yeah. It's almost painful to look at.
Almost painful for you. Almost being the
But-
key word.
It probably is a bit painful.
But not to your detriment. Is the point. So the tape says, "Please, oh God, stop talking."
Yeah,
And in little parentheses it says, "Shut up."
tape. Oh God, tape just says, "Please, God, stop talking," and then little text below just says, "Shut up." Apparently, previous person who made contact did not like what this guy had to say. Oh, I need to sit down.
Oh, that's what it says. Oh, I couldn't really see from my angle. No. That is really just what it is. I can't talk with the thing on.
How about then? I have a proposition for you.
Ah, proposition. Interesting.
You tell us what's happened here. What's happened with the Dueler hand? What's happened in this village? Why you're a skull instead of a person? And we'll take the tape off. And if you lie to us, then my friend over there, who is a doctor, is going to wire your teeth together forever.
Well, that's unpleasant. At least I'll be able to mumble though. Just. But no. I mean, I can't die like this. Anyways, so you want to know? Let's do. I've got a proposition for you as well. I'll do a question for a question.
Done.
Excellent. It is agreed on. And with that, a sudden heavy weight hits the room.
A deal has been made. That's never good.
The bargain has been struck.
Charlie spits in his hand and presses it to the palm of the skull.
I mean, gross. We could just do it. Do it verbally, but okay. This is also acceptable. Can someone wipe off my head afterwards?
Ask your question.
So, where are we exactly?
Did he say when or where?
Where?
Say this is Gulsey in Ireland.
Ah, oh, Gulsey. Okay. I kind of meant the building, but you know, I'll take that as an answer.
Were we in the church?
No,
We're
you
in
guys are
Ocean's house.
Oh, we're in Ocean's
his
house.
manor house, yeah.
So you're in the residence of one of the towns of Gulsey.
All right, sounds good. So now your question.
Where did the Dula hand come from?
Oh, it came from me. I'm the Dulan. You know, we're the same thing. It's a very long and complicated sort of story. So you see, when someone believes in something quite a lot, and no, that's too far. After I die, I sort of come back, but not exactly in the way that I was supposed to come back. I wake up one day and I'm in a little bag, and I can see everything, but not from the bag. I can see everything from where my head should be. And I'm riding a horse that I've never met before.
Sounds very disorienting.
Rather is. So, my question. Do you know why I was in the box?
That's what we've been trying to figure out. Our understanding is that you were given already boxed to someone in this town.
Oh, okay. I am a deep sleeper. Someone may have taken me.
Anya still has her hand on like the edge of the tape, still not moving it.
He is patiently waiting for your next question.
Uh, Besides the desire to talk through your own mouth, why else do you want the tape off?
Well, it's mostly because I don't really like being in someone's body, and I can't lie when I'm in someone else's body. The faculties necessary to tell untruths are not there.
I would like to make an observation roll to determine if that statement is truthful.
Go for it. It is. It absolutely is. It's literally the reason he wants the tape off his mouth. There's no half truth. There's nothing about that.
It's your question then.
Okay. So, where is the rest of me?
I'm asking the GM, we genuinely have no idea, right?
No. I mean,
So-
some of you have like seen shadows of it around places. And you might have an idea where it might be. And
if you're
given the fact that he's tormenting Ocean,
if you're the creature that's tormenting Ocean, you might be well in the forest, but we have no idea precisely where or any certainty that that's you.
Understand.
What did you want to lie to us about?
Not much. I'm just, it's just one of those things that I don't really like. I don't like being constricted, and I don't like the fact that I can't lie. There's a little bit of the fact that if you ask me my weaknesses and such, then it doesn't work. But we've done our 3 guessing game questions, so I'm not answering any more questions after this.
We didn't agree to 3. We answered
Oh,
a question
shit.
for a question.
Yes, but I'm not asking any more questions.
We answer one more.
I will answer 2 so that I can say yes to that first one. Because otherwise it's very pedantic and weird.
Thanks for not being that spirit.
Yeah,
What-
I've never really been fond of those kinds of fairies. They just seem like dicks.
What do you want?
Me personally. Well, I want to go back to my body. And I want to wreak vengeance on who did this to me. I think that's fair.
So I assume
All
that
right.
means that you know who did this to you.
That's another question, and I can't
I didn't
ask.
ask a question, I made a statement.
I had a question in tone. It's all about what your inferencing and your intention is behind the words, not the words themselves. You know that as well as I do as a writer.
It's an interesting inference on your part.
Well, I mean, you have little ink stains all over your hands,
I do.
and you just smell like paper.
Take that as a compliment. There are a lot worse things to smell like.
Yeah, I mean, you could smell like neck. Have you ever smelled like neck? Swampy. Anyways, that's it. And then I'm gonna leave your friend now and just wait for you to take off the piece of tape.
We did make a deal.
Excellent.
I'll look to Anya.
I take the tape off.
All right.
Is
The
that,
second you
is that
take the
what we
tape
want?
off, the second you take the tape off, you start. He goes, "Ah, fantastic! Now I can leave this." And you hear him talking from two voices at the same time. The one coming from Lily's mouth, and the one coming from the skull itself. And with that, he leaves Lily.
Uh, we said Lily was standing, right?
She was bound to a chair.
Okay.
And you slumped over slightly, so I'm assuming you were sitting.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. She her body fully relaxes as she'll need a little bit of time to come back to.
So we should probably find where I am.
I mean, it does not sound like the most difficult task. You say you can see from where you, the skull, are supposed to be on you, the body, so
Well, I mean, two things. One, every tree looks the same.
that's a good
And
point.
two, that really works best when I'm actually attached to the thing. To the rest of me. You know, like when I'm on the saddlebag or I'm attached to the hip. I don't really like to be very far away from the rest of me.
Ah,
He gets so lonely.
the distance is problematic. That does make sense. Well, he kind of looks to everyone else. What is I mean, I suppose without Lily awake is not the best time to plan. But what do we think is our next step here?
Untying Lily.
Lily can slip out of the bonds as long as she's remaining relatively relaxed. That was the design of it.
And she'll finally come back to, but very groggy and just sometimes it doesn't hurt as much as it should.
No, your mind was a nice open space. Seemed to be something else there a little bit as well, but you know, that's just don't really know much more than that. Oh no, have I revealed more than I was supposed to? You can feel
know
like the
this
skull
is-
like trying to look around, even though it's not moving.
Just like shakes a tiny bit,
Like a little
tiny
wiggle.
bit of back and forth. Yeah.
I have another question for you, but you're under no compulsion to answer it. It's just, do you have a name we can call you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Ah, the name. I haven't used it for so long. My name was Peter McClancy. I mean, that was my name when I was alive. I haven't really had a name otherwise. Sorry, I see you were about to say Finn.
Here's
what
Sorry,
about-
the lovely lady outside told me your name.
Oh, she the one that did it to you?
The lady
your
that
head
was
off?
outside?
Yeah.
No, we just
Do you know her?
oh well, we hang out in the same circles.
do you know who did?
Elaborate.
No, I don't know who did this to me. I'm pretty sure it was natural causes. That or I deserved it. And the same circles bit. Well, you see, many of the Fae sort of group together. Like some of us are also, especially those ones that are in the weird sort of in-betweeny place. where you're sort of a fae, but you're also sort of an undead, and you're one of those spirity things.
I'm looking for someone, and I don't know who I'm looking for. Do you? Can you help me?
Oh, that is quite the potential that I might be able to do that. I'd need something like some kind of hint or a clue or something that would help me lead me to said individual. But yeah, potentially.
How
I'll tell you more if anything comes up, but I don't know.
how do we help you?
Well, the easiest way is to give me back to the body.
What does vengeance look like? If you close your eyes and imagine a work of
decline not to
vengeance, what do you
answer.
do?
I decline to answer.
Here's my concern, and I'm just going to be blunt about it. I think somebody brought you here specifically to wreak your vengeance on this place, but this place only serves their ends. And that the
Oh
person
no,
that
no,
you
no!
should
I don't do the place, just the individual.
the individual responsible is probably long gone, and probably the one who brought this head to the local foreman.
If you could feel a skull blink at you, it blinks at you.
You were gifted to someone here. The person who owns the residence we're now in. They had no idea what they were getting.
But they accepted the gift from the stranger.
That's a good question for us to ask as to why. They struck some sort of deal. Part of it was taking the head.
Okay. Well, I suppose we could go and ask him.
He may not take too kindly to your
Right,
reappearance.
right. I'm just ahead. Sorry for getting ahead of myself.
Maybe not so
The jaw
much. Just
opens
the,
like one of those big smiles, but no lips, so it's just confusing.
In Anya's book, there's like a little thing on the Doulahan that says terrible sense of humor. Just
It absolutely does. It says mostly head-based puns.
yeah.
If anyone cares to read that, what happens?
Maybe
It is
not
canonical.
even fact that you are just Skull. It is probably more likely that he just does not like the fact that your the rest of you has been what he interprets as terrorizing, and what is most likely you just been trying to get head back. So may not be happy with anyone if we were to bring you back to him. Maybe slightly problem. I mean, we could go ask and leave you somewhere safe for the moment being, or send one or two, maybe go ask, and the rest chat with you. Maybe I don't know.
I also heard someone was saying an R, and so the skull hops slightly, trying to turn towards you.
She was just going to agree with Agot that maybe a couple of them stay, the rest go to talk to Ocean.
I'll stay.
I will as well.
I've never met the guy, but I can go.
Okay.
Very well. Charlie, you would like to come chat with Ocean again?
I will stop by the hat back, like on the door on the way out, and see if there's anything that looks like it'll fit the skull.
Has the skull just moving?
Oh, I'd love one of those.
Charlie's saliva ends up on Anya's hand, and she's was that really necessary? And she kind of just wipes the skull.
Ah, thank you. That was a necessary thing. Thank you so much.
Don't worry about it.
Well, if you're going to go and see him, there's no time to do it like the middle of the night. Or you could wait till tomorrow.
No, I think it's much better to go in the middle of the night, since I don't imagine there'll be many people at the lumber mill in the middle of the night.
Where are we of the day now?
It's about the middle of the night.
Okay. So,
Like it is long past dusk.
I assume he means now.
All right. Well, the second you guys all get ready and go, then we'll do that. Otherwise, I can tell you fantastical stories. So, you see, and they say dead men tell no tales. You know, as we keep going into the little bits of the pieces of these, and he just goes off for a long tangents about things that no one would ever care about. So you see, my mother, she was a milkmaid. But my father was an iron shoe worker, or a horseshoer, as they might say sometimes. He was a blacksmith. Let's call it an apple, an apple. My cousin, he was an apple, and just goes on like that. It's a long, convoluted stories that don't really matter.
Look at the tape that is probably lying on the floor. Or where is the
Put that
tape?
back on.
Now I see why tape says what it says. Oh.
Yes, I am rather chatty.
Charlie, I think Charlie and I and Finn were all headed to speak to the foreman, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
I will say
Ocean.
one lovely thing. I don't know what the man has offered to help you pay, has offered to give you the payment that he's offered you. But I also, if you help me out and give me back to me, then I will give you something as well. It's only fair, you know. We are rather transactional.
Like what?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Do you need extra manservants at your castle or something like that? Like someone to help you get from place to place, or or do you just want some weird some weird little magical thing that we can find somewhere, or what do you want? And we will see about making it happen.
I'm just picturing creature with the talkiest skull. It's like,
Oh, Horatio. Sorry. Oh, no, poor Yorick. I knew him not, Horatio. No, you didn't know me at all, you bastard.
Put me back, you bastard. Why'd you bring me all the way over here?
Exactly.
Perhaps deliberate about strange creatures and items at a later time. You Peter, correct? Sorry.
Yes, the name is Peter.
Need to hear the name once or twice to really hammer home.
Oh, I understand that as well.
You're
I didn't get your name. I only really have Finn's name. Everyone else is a complete stranger to me.
indeed. Well, it's from my people is only polite. I am Egat, and he like instinctively reaches out his hand, and then sorry that did not mean to.
And
offend you.
just for the record of this, we are putting this in such a way that this is not a transactional sort of thing with names. You are not giving me your name. I'm not taking your name. You are simply stating your name.
Is my
I would
default
like to know the
anyways.
people's names.
I say name. I never. And I
No, I know.
don't
I'm just,
use
you know,
term.
we get a little, we get a
Yes.
little transactional.
People
My
get
people.
strange about names sometimes. Did you have any other question for us to ask Mr. Ocean, or just about the guy that brought you here?
Maybe about the guy that brought me here. Nothing I can think of too much.
Very well.
so we're gonna go wake up Mr. Ocean.
I
He's
may not
sleeping
be
at home.
happy, but
All right, so
what we
we
must
split you up now.
Is it Anya and Lily staying with the skull?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure, nothing bad will happen.
And
I'm sure it'll be fine.
So, Agate, Charlie, and Finn all head to the factory. Where even though you're already in Ocean's house, he doesn't seem to be sleeping here much. Not since the Troubles.
Since he hit a skull in.
He didn't know what was in there. So, you guys make your way to the factory. And as was last time, I need to remember the names I give people because God's above. Johann Roche is there to greet you, tired and overworked, as the rest of the factory is still pumping out work. Do you tell him why you're here, or do you just kind of stand there? Because he sees you coming and he gets a little excited that maybe you fixed the problem.
Just need to talk to the boss again.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'll send you to the boss. He's in the office as usual.
I promise we're not charging hourly.
I wouldn't care if you were. It's not my money.
And
So
heading
you
out.
guys make... Yes. You guys make your way to the office. Do you go right in, or do you knock first?
He's a really jumpy guy. I think we're knocking first.
Yes, do not want to get glass thrown at my head again.
Who is it? Come in! What? Who? Hello?
Is the society again? We have a few questions for you, Mr. Ocean.
Ah, good. Good. Because I think I see him out my window.
Oh, and quickly goes in, peeks out. Wait, which window? And goes to check.
You notice there aren't any windows here.
Yes.
He is at the hallucinating stage of sleep deprived.
It remains to be seen how helpful he will be.
Yeah.
If so progress is being made. We have a couple more questions just about individual that bring mysterious box to you.
Great. Who's the new guy?
Oh, this is newer associate. Gestures. If you'd like to introduce yourself, you may.
I'm Finn. I somehow also saw the terrorizing thing.
You saw the creature?
We're here to help.
The
I did see the
horror?
creature, yes. And I lived.
How?
Can't say. It's a
Is-
society thing.
He's
Is
gifted
it
with
a
the
money
sight.
thing? What? That means nothing to me.
No, he's just he can see the same things as us. He's also here to help out. So, about the person that brought the box, what was the circumstances around the box being given to you exactly?
I don't really know. Like, it was... Like, we had just finished signing the contract to cut down another quarter of the woods. Then some guy walks in with a little wooden box that doesn't seem to be made of planks or like cut wood, but like almost like the wood was grown. And then he goes, "Congratulations, Mr. McMullen." And I go, "Thank you." And then he hands me the box. And I gotta tell you, it was a weird thing, and I tried to open the box a lot of times, but it didn't really open.
So he gave it as under pretense of a gift, I suppose.
Yeah. He even said that if I don't open it for a long time, it'll come back with something even more fun.
Turns to Charlie. That is not good sign, I fear.
But I said thank you, and I accepted his gift.
Charlie's gonna take his own journal and open it to like 2 blank pages, take out his writing instruments, and say, I'm gonna need you to describe the man who gave you the box. Every detail about him that you can remember. His name, if he gave it to you.
No, he never gave me a name. Never gave me a name. It's weird. People usually give me their names. But he was very tall. Like taller than most would be, you'd think. And he walked in a very commanding sort of way. And then he had a big hood on. So it was like he was trying to hide some of his features, but you could see everything. Except for like some of the sides of his head. And honestly, he smelled like fresh flowers, which is a very weird thing.
Charlie's gonna just kind of remember the scent that came with the envelope and shoot a look towards Finn, but he's starting to sketch the entire time. You know, he starts with kind of a masculine frame that's like taller and thinner, and you know, he's drawing the cloak and stuff like that.
No.
And
You
kinda-
see, he looks more womanish than that. He's not a very nice person. I will repeat this.
He says, so you would say that some of his features were effeminate.
Yes? Weird fancy talk.
But he'll continue, you know, like every time he gets a correction, he's like drawing over it and stuff like that. And he's very focused on the features when he gets to the face and stuff like that.
No facial hair whatsoever. Like sometimes you see people with a bit of a shadow, but nothing.
Charlie's like maybe barely 18 at this point, kind of like rubs it in his jaw like a little subconsciously, but just keeps trying.
I mean, you feel like some stubbly nubblies, but that's about it. Like the scruff that you try to grow and never really fully grows.
He hasn't spent any money on razors yet in his life, so let's just leave it at that.
As he continues describing this creature to you. Sorry. Lily and Anya. And as we are with Lily and Anya, the skull is talking and has been talking for a while. Sometimes his stories are actually pretty good, and other times they're just confusing. And a few of them are clearly not real, and they were just jokes that he set up, such as the time he went to the butcher shop and asked for their tenderest of loins. Suddenly he stops talking altogether, though. And you can feel his attention move towards the door. And he utters 2 words. It's here.
Anya looks to Lily, kind of just like, what should we do? Kind of just like a thing of, hey, it's the two of us here.
I'd very much like to go back, but you know, we'll wait for your friend to seem a little less
Frozen?
thoughtful.
Hmm.
But
I hope you do understand.
I do understand. I
I'd like a second
I
opinion.
would like to go back. I would very much like to go back to my body, and it would
I appreciate
likely,
that for you, and I'd love to do that for you. I just
and it may do us all a little bit of good if I go back and give me back to me politely, because at the moment he's all heart, no head. So he's just very angry.
so no head. Sorry, that was out of character.
No, I'm all head. He's all heart. Yeah, still doing it. Anyways. She agrees again.
I think so.
Lily, are you still recovering? I just want to know what we should do. Oh,
So, as we wait patiently, here's Jacob's Corner of Jokes. Two men walk into a bar. We're going to leave that and tell you the end of that joke at the end of the session. Why? Because I suck.
Maybe it'll help with engagement graphs on YouTube as well. Stick around to the end to hear the rest of the joke.
Oh, I'm going to start doing that at the beginning of every episode now.
There we go.
You can tell the setup and then tell the punchline at the end. And people will be so confused because they won't remember the setup. Thank you. This is a horrible idea.
All
but I
right.
love it.
Lily, well, while you're present, what
It's
should we do?
if it's a spirit, then we really should find some salt.
Oh, so it's not going to work. That works for the ethereal ones. But
Yeah.
you start hearing a knocking at the door. Well, that's pretty solid.
I'm a doctor, not a ghost whisperer, so I don't carry salt on me. Sorry.
This is a spirit that I'm not used to.
I'm not used to spirits.
The door starts pounding
Oh.
as opposed to knocking.
Is there a window in here?
It's a manor house. There are a few windows.
We're gonna find the furthest window we can, and we're running through it. Or gonna open it, and Lily's at least gonna climb through it with the skull. That's her idea, and she's telling Anya that's kind of her idea as she's moving.
This feels like a bad idea.
I was
as
about
you
to
are-
say that.
as you have jumped out the window with him.
I feel like if we're trying to avoid what's outside that door, we shouldn't leave the house.
Are you running while saying this, or
No, she's.
because Lily has taken off with the skull?
Oh,
Mhm.
god damn it. Okay, she's following.
She's running back to the wood mill because that she noticed that he couldn't get in there.
Behind you, you hear the sounds of heavy hoofbeats.
This is really stupid.
I know. I don't
I
have
would like
another
both
idea
of
though.
you to roll athletics checks.
Agility.
No, well, yeah, agility checks.
There's no athletics.
It's agility, athletics, same basic thing.
2 success.
No success.
Oh.
So
And you have the skull.
And I have the skull.
remember, you can
Pass.
always donate one of your successes.
Yeah, I'll do that. I see her go to trip and I kind of just pull her.
The issue comes from the fact you are trying to outrun a horse.
Yeah.
I said it was a stupid idea.
I'm sorry.
He's much closer to you now. From the mill,
Let's just give
You
the head
hear-
back.
from the mill, you hear
It's
a
going to kill
loud
us either way.
braying, loud neigh, and the stomping of hooves. Oshin has stopped describing anything and is now panicking.
Well, perhaps perhaps we should wrap up this little interview. It seems friends may have done something stupid.
Charlie closes the book and says, "It looks like we're out of time."
Yeah.
while you were gone, I'm so sorry. While you were gone, while we were gone, while we were all gone, the Doulahan has caused everyone to need to make a fear check. In a fear check, you must you must pass via empathy or logic